Okay. Okay, hold on, let me just position this in the... You want to sit up a bit?
I'm good.
This is the second movie screening review.
Thank you, Brad Jones.
Thank you, Brad Jones, for this lovely idea that we wholesale ripped off. But I did my last one, Alien Covenant, with Morgan and Connor, and
what a downgrade.
They have. Well, I am with Jacob this time, and we went into a very different cinematic experience, both expectation and reality-wise, with Wonder Woman. We have reserved most of our thoughts. Okay, hold on, look at that. There's a little girl with a little Wonder Woman cape over there, and she's just running around with it. That's fucking adorable. Okay. All right. It was good.
It's okay.
It was good. I liked it. It has problems.
It was a movie.
That's what I want to get out of the way. To establish some precedent, we don't like any of the DC movies. Not like just DC current universe. Like Man of Steel sucks. Fucking Batman v Superman sucks. Suicide Squad sucks. Like Suicide Squad is probably the worst one as like a movie, just because it barely qualifies. It's just a stitched together, dark, depressing mess of a film.
You could easily say that about Batman v Superman.
It is, but Batman v Superman definitely tried harder.
No,
really. It did. It just fell harder. It failed. It had way more to fail on.
But
and Man of Steel is just one of those movies where it doesn't really set in how bad it is until you think about it. And all of these movies I've had really complicated relationships. Like, I loved Man of Steel when I saw it, now I hate it. It just took me a while. Batman v Superman I immediately hated. Like, immediately. I was hopeful when watching Suicide Squad because Morgan had watched it and said he liked it. So I watched it right after that and fucking hated it. And I was like, dude, I don't see it. And then Morgan was like, yeah, no, I hate it too. So I went into this... Everybody says it's good, so, and like everybody whose opinion I trust said it was good, so I was like, alright, I'll go in cautiously optimistic. I'm probably not gonna like love it or anything, and I don't think I do. But I gotta say, it was a movie. It was a competent film. It had a first act, a second act, and a third act. It had a main character with an arc, and it had other characters, and they had little tiny arcs, and you cared about the characters because they did things, and then you said, oh, they're people. How about that shit? I hate that I have to compliment it like this, but it's true. It is a competent, functioning film.
It explains why Chris Pine wasn't in Batman v Superman other than he wasn't cast yet.
He was a picture. No, he was in it because he was in the photo.
Imagine you're Chris Pine and you've been cast as the guy who's in
the photograph. In Batman v Superman, he sees the reviews and he's like, oh.
You were casted as the guy who was in a black and white photograph.
Okay. So...
The last 20 minutes are shit, but everything else was awesome.
I disagree. Here's actually the biggest problem I actually have with the film, because it's so distracting. I feel like I've become Doug and Rob Walker in this, but okay. This is not a complaint I level at movies, and it's not a complaint that I have often with like anything ever, because I'm not the type guy to bitch about this. But the special effects in this movie sucked. They were so bad.
Yeah.
Like even Batman v Superman had a couple parts where you were like, okay, that looks fine because you couldn't see fucking anything.
Remus Lupin's armor.
Okay, okay, that was amazing because Remus fucking spoilers. David Thewlis is in this, and there's a part where like he's Ares, which I gotta admit, they did catch me off guard there because I really thought it was gonna be Danny Houston because But so he pops up and he's got like this ripped, shredded body, and it's just David Thewlis' face. Like his old man, 60-year-old face. And then he's like in a super, like he's like Doomsday, and it's just Remus Lupin's face and then on this shredded fucking Greek soldier beating the shit out of Gal Gadot. And, like, just anytime there's special effects in this movie, it's like, if Batman v Superman was well lit, people could be like, oh yeah, the special effects are all just shit. That's what this is. It looks like whenever the action is in camera, it looks great. It looks fine.
I agree with the criticism that the action is the weakest part of this movie, because...
Oh, I didn't give a shit. Like, there were parts that were cool.
I mean, I think part of the reason why the action doesn't work as well as other movies is because the editing was off.
Yeah,
the editing was horrible.
Okay, no.
Like, all the constant jumping around.
No. As someone who sees many more films and is more accustomed to the way things are, I think I got it when I was in the movie and I was watching, like, them, like, when the action was in camera and it was editing. The action is functional. It serves its purpose. It is not like... It's like how, like, when the Russos shoot action in, like, Captain America and shit, and they're really shaky, but you can still tell what's happening. That's the action in this. It's just, like, 10% of the overall action. The rest of it's just CG that's just not very good.
Also, when Remus Lupin or David Thewlis got that giant, like, helmet on with, like, 2 ports, and it looked awful.
Ares has always been, like, that dumb and shit. Let's
I'm so glad they didn't resurrect Chris Pine at the end.
I know, I actually thought that they were gonna do that. Like, I kind of thought that they would, but they actually, like, they had the balls to kill off a character, and I'm like, Marvel wouldn't do that. And here, let's stop talking about the bad and let's talk about the good here, because that's what you all want to hear. And that's what I want to talk about, because quite frankly, I am sick to death of bitching about these DC movies, because they all have the same goddamn problems, they all have the same shit wrong with them, and it just makes me angry. So, the obvious best part about this movie is Gal Gadot. She steals the show.
Which is odd, because she was shit in Batman v Superman.
I wouldn't say she was shit, she was just there. Like, she was just like, hi, I'm Wonder Woman, I'm here. And it's like, and see, that's the thing, is that I never understood anyone's reaction to her, because I don't get how you could have one. Like, some people were like, she was awful, and some people were like, she was awesome, and I'm like, she was there.
She was in the movie.
She was in the movie. I didn't pay much attention to her, because quite frankly, the film didn't want me to pay attention to her. And, okay, I don't even necessarily know if Gal Gadot is a good actress necessarily, but she is charming and has a great screen presence. Her and Chris Pine also, who day one I was just like, Chris Pine's gonna be kind of lame in this. Chris Pine was great. I enjoyed Chris Pine, and this is the most I've ever enjoyed him in anything.
I expected them to be like, oh, Chris Pine was Ares.
That would have been fucking awful. But, like, they have a romance, like, I bought it. I was like, alright, this is not forced, this isn't lame, this is believable, these two characters are cool, and I like them. Oops. And they were very, like, whenever the movie is honestly, like my favorite scene was when they were, like, dancing after in the town. Like, that scene was just really pretty. And, like, when they're talking, I just love Chris Pine and Gal Gadot just talking. That was the most interesting part of the film. And there were parts where, like, the opening has this thing where they explain the mythology of the universe, of, like, the Greek god thing. And, like, that's presented in a really visually interesting way. I was kind of floored as to why the rest of the action didn't look as good as all of that did.
My favorite scene was her and Chris Pine on the boat, and
that was great.
Oh, I can't sleep with you, I'm not
like,
married.
Yeah. She's like, what is marriage? And he's just like, well, two people promise to be faithful to each other for the rest of their life. Do they? No. She's like, why they get married? I don't know. I'm like,
the fuck?
Same. But, like, I'll give them a couple things. Like, if this was a Marvel movie, they would not have killed off any characters, because goddamn, I like Civil War, but holy shit, guys, grow a pair, kill off Rhodey, Jesus.
Do we even need Rhodey for the next movies?
No, we don't. Well, anyway, off topic. This did not feel like a Marvel movie, and I was kind of shocked because I thought it was gonna feel like one. The only thing that does feel like a Marvel movie is the fact that this is...
It's not bleak as fuck.
It's not bleak as fuck. It has color. and it has the exact, it does have the exact same problem that the good Marvel movies have, in the sense that its first 2 acts are really good, and then the 3rd act is weird and kind of uneven, and they fight a bad guy on a roof. Like, even though they even fought Danny Houston on the goddamn roof in this movie, and I'm like, really? We have to do this again. We have to do the fighting on the roof again.
And then they pulled a Percy Jackson, I'm the lightning thief, by a fluke.
Kind of. Not really. I mean, like, at least I got it. At least this villain made sense, had a motivation where I was like, all right, I get it. And this was the first DC movie that actually felt like it had, like, scale. It was, like, epic. Whereas the other movies were just kind of like, wow, this is what happens when a bunch of kids push action figures together with a bunch of special effects and shit. And I was telling you that I hate Man of Steel more now, and you know why? It's because every goddamn second of Man of Steel is filled with people going, you're so important, Clark. You're gonna change everything. You'd be like a god to them. In this movie, we have Diana, who is literally a god. Like, not figuratively. Like, literally, she is an actual Greek god. And, like, they don't do the Jesus shit. They don't do everybody telling her how goddamn
Zack Snyder wasn't the director.
No, they don't do everybody telling her how goddamn important she is. She actually, like, fucks up. She's not like they didn't marry Sewer. She actually has a lot of problems. Like, she's very hesitant, and she's way naive, and she's like, if I kill Ares, everything will be great. And I kind of thought that was sort of a shout at Marvel of being like, you know how every movie of theirs is they have the bad guy. It's like, oh, if we kill the bad guy, all of the other soldiers will die because screenwriting. And so, and
like
they're just like
Phantom Menace it.
Yeah, and if just like, oh, if you kill this one dude, then all of the soldiers will die. And in this movie, it's just like, yeah, Diana, I'm gonna kill them, and then everybody's gonna be fine. And then it's just like, no, because people are shitty and terrible.
And I think that's where the movie lost me. I would have loved the film had it just ended with the message of Chris Pine. Maybe sometimes people are assholes.
But that was the message.
They didn't need David Thewlis to be like, oh, I'm Ares, guys.
I mean, they didn't need him, but, like, that's the thing that confused me about what Ralph said, is that it didn't it didn't go contrary to what the movie was saying before. Like, Chris Pine even says, Ares or no Ares, sometimes this shit just happens. And it did. Like, it wasn't... Like,
I think they should have just cut that, but...
I mean, the movie did definitely, like... Honestly...
It felt like another Doomsday battle.
It did, but I'm gonna say this, is... I'm not saying that what they did was, like, better in any way. The script needed one more rewrite, and then we would be working with some, like, solid platinum here.
I will find him!
No. But, what they needed to do, because, like, if the movie had ended there, that would have been really underwhelming.
I would have disagreed. I would have liked it to have ended there.
Yeah, but... for the kind of movie this movie wants to be. This movie wants to be Richard Donner's Superman. And you know what? About 80% of the time, it succeeds. That 20%, though, really does come up frequently. But the thing is that it needed a bit more gravitas in the end if it wanted to have, and it's like, and it did give it more gravitas, it's just not in the way that it should have. It should have incorporated it in a much better way. I feel like David Thewlis' character in that movie only served to be Ares. Like, he had no other purpose than to be revealed as the bad guy in the end. Like, what was he doing in the movie before? Like, oh, he's like, I'm kind of on your side, sort of. But he was completely passive. Like, he didn't do anything. He didn't help anybody. Like, he was just there to be set up as the twist. If they had somehow incorporated it, like why? What the fuck was with, like, could they have done that with Dr. Poison? I mean, he was already influencing her. That they had that little scene right there. I mean, why couldn't they just have done that? Maybe, I don't fucking know. But like, that's the thing, is that it loses its ground there, and I hate saying that because it is a big part of the film. But the rest of it, I really did enjoy. I can say it is a good film.
I remember someone praising the film for like, ooh, we also have a really good female villain. And I'm like,
no, they don't.
Like, what? Did you forget about Suicide Squad? There was a female villain there.
Okay, that's the thing though, is that it's like, they don't have a well-written villain at all. All of these villains actually just work in this movie because Danny Houston and the chick who played Dr. Poison are goddamn chewing the scenery.
I mean,
and it's amazing.
Plus, Dr. Poison was barely in the movie.
Like, when they tossed in the grenades to the other, like, German guys, and they were, like, laughing like school children, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love this. And yeah, that really worked. Like, and you know, everything else you've probably heard before, like when they do the fish out of water stuff, it's really effective. Is it particularly new? No, it's not. You've seen it in a lot of other movies. I will say, I can confidently say this and say that it was better handled. I like this movie more than I like Captain America 1. Not Captain America 2 or 3, but like I like it more than 1.
That's really not that big a compliment.
I know, but it's like, it's better than like, it's better than all of the average Marvel movies. Mostly because it has the same problems as the good Marvel movies, but it's better than them. So, yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it, and honestly, I'd watch it again, because it has so little to do with the DC Universe, and takes place so much before, like, they didn't even have Ben Affleck come in and be like, so tell me, Diana, what's your story? Like, no, it's just a flashback.
No, she was sending an email to Bruce Wayne at
yeah,
the
but
end.
he wasn't in the fucking movie, and I'm like, good. This is its own, like, and it didn't have an after credit scene. It was like, this is its own movie. Fuck the DC. That's why I think I liked it a lot, too, is because fucking, it had, like, nothing to do with it.
If they were gonna do another random disco ball effect villain just to blow shit up at the end like they did with Doomsday, they could have at least made the lightning coming out of the bad guy a different color. It was the same goddamn color.
At least they superimposed David Thewlis' face over it instead of making it a cave troll. That did make me laugh. I mean, it was just like, oh my god, really, guys?
And the effects in Justice League look fucking worse.
Oh my god, yeah, the trailer. I mean, like, again, Wonder Woman, the special effects don't look good. They do, like, when they're not in an action scene, it's just like the backgrounds look nice, like the camera work is very good. But like, the effects in Justice League, like, I hate saying this because it's what old critics say because they don't get it, but it's like, it looked like a goddamn video game. Hell, I've seen like, God of War looks better. Good fucking god, Zack Snyder. But, like,
how much do you want to bet that because Zack Snyder had a story credit that he wanted the director to put more Jesus stuff in the movie, and then she said, hold the fuck off.
And then Patty Jenkins was like, fuck no. Because you can see, like, you know, it is like the better version of that. Like, this movie does not feel its length at all. The pacing is fine. It wasn't like a brisk, it wasn't like super fast or anything, but it was purely what it needed to be.
That scene of
And
Wonder
that's
Woman
fine.
trying ice cream made us get ice cream.
I know, yeah, we're going to Brewster's. But like,
if it's even open.
and there were some scenes in this movie that I would call beautiful. Like, there was the scene of them in the snow that was quite charming. And I don't know. There were a lot of things in this movie that I can compliment. There was a lot of basic things that it didn't do well on, but overall, it had enough heart to win me over. It had a nice core message. It was a good film. That being said, I gotta go out and say, like, I get that it's, you know, female director, first real major studio superhero film. So we need to go, this needs to be a success. I do think it is being a bit overpraised by people. It is
not 94%.
Not
good.
94% good. Like, this movie, from me, would get, like, a really shaky,
I'd give it a 5.
Whoa. Damn, that's harsh.
I was going to give it a 6, but then wasn't the last 10-15 minutes really.
And I thought I was stingy with ratings. Hot damn. I was gonna say this is a 7. Solid 7.
To be fair though, Man of Steel gets a 4, and Batman v Superman gets a 2 for me.
Yes, same. And I gave Suicide Squad a 3.
I've both seen Suicide Squad and not seen Suicide Squad at the same time.
Here's something. You know what I'm actually very much like, because Patty Jenkins definitely wants to make another Wonder Woman movie. I am very excited for what she would do next, because now that she has proven that she doesn't have to show up like directors and shit, that she knows her shit and she can make a lot of money, now maybe they'll back the fuck off and let her make her own movie, and it'll be great.
I'm just gonna keep driving.
But as of right now, the movie is good. You all can rest easy. It is fine.
I didn't hate it. I just thought it was just okay.
I liked it. I liked it, and it is a movie that I like. Again, it doesn't mean anything for me, but I will buy this movie because I want to watch it again.
But it was supposed to be an easy grab. They got tea.
God damn it!
Should have.
It's good. Go see it.